paranormal. It surrounds us. It's everywhere. Tonight, you will hear from the people who live and work within these highly active locations, all in the efforts to discover America's most haunted. With your host, ghost hunter and author, Dan Terry.
Good evening, boys and ghouls. I am Dan Terry, your ghost host with the most haunted. Got a really cool guest. This time we're going up to Michigan, and we're going to be talking both ghosts and cryptids. Jeannie Maes, and I hope I pronounced that right, is from Cadillac, Michigan. She has been in the paranormal now for some 20 years. And this is one of the reasons you guys have all heard the story about my friend Tim Clifton. His parents actually put him into an asylum as a child because he was seeing spirits and they felt that was a mental issue. So she was not put into an asylum, but her parents, who were very, very Christian apparently, even though she was born with this ability to see and hear them, the spirits, she was raised in a Christian home and told such things are from the devil. Pretty wild, huh? And later on, she got into it. Like I said, about 20 years ago, she founded Greenstone Paranormal, and she's currently moving a little bit away from the ghosts and going right on over to the cryptids, specifically, I believe, Bigfoot. And I just lost her, so stand by. I found her. She's back. She was lost, but she's here. And I'm not exactly sure if it was my ghost. She thinks it was hers. I don't know. My ghosts don't usually do that, but sometimes they get a little hinky. So, Jean, you want me to call you Jean or Jeannie? I've seen your name both ways.
I don't care.
Okay.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
You got Jean here. We'll use that. Jean, I talked a little bit at the beginning about your childhood and all of that. Like I told you before the show, I had a friend that they had some horrible things happen to him because of this. When did you finally acknowledge that you could see and talk to these spirits?
I was probably in my 20s when I finally totally accepted it and started working with it.
So during your childhood, when you weren't allowed to see it, was you still seeing them?
I was, but I would try to ignore it and try to shut it off or I wouldn't get in trouble.
And did the spirits attempt to make contact with you? Were they trying to tell you something?
I believe they were.
Uh-huh.
A little history on the property the house was on.
Yeah.
Back in the mid 1800s, there was a family of 5 that lived on that property in a little, like, 2-room cabin. Well, the cabin burnt down with all of them in the cabin.
Oh.
I believe it was them trying to contact me.
Okay. Did you ever get to hear what they said, what they wanted, anything like that?
There was a male spirit that kept telling me that we were not safe on that property.
Oh, that's interesting. Go on.
And when I tried to tell when I tried to tell my mom and dad about it, they would get upset. So I quit talking to them.
Mm-hmm. Now, as time went by for my friend Tim, he found out that his mom had the same talent, but she was afraid of losing her husband and family situation because he didn't want that. So she was refusing to admit it. He found out later his sister had exactly the same skills and talents, but she refused to say anything because she saw what they did to him. Did anybody else in your family have this ability that you're aware of?
I believe my grandpa from my dad's side had abilities.
Mhm.
He was known as a water witch,
Okay.
and I think he had other abilities too. So
he was one who found water for where to dig wells and such, huh?
correct.
Okay. Once you got out, I assume you got out of the house and started honing your abilities after that.
Yes,
And
I did.
how'd that work out for you? I mean, was it automatic? Was it suddenly there? Did you go through a time period of getting scared because these things were right at you?
It took a while for me to get the ability to work again.
Mm-hmm.
But once it started working, it kind of spooked me at first because I didn't know for sure what was going on. And then when I realized what was happening, I embraced it fully and I was seeing things all the time then.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, have you ever considered going back to the family house where you was raised and seeing if you could communicate with them now?
I have, but it's been sold. That house has sold 4 times since my mother passed away.
Oh,
And she's been gone for 6 years.
wow. Do you think
Yeah,
it's
people do not stay there.
do you think it's those spirits causing issues?
I believe it might be.
Okay. That would be interesting. I wonder if the folks living there now might want you to come in and try to calm things down.
I would love to. I would love to get back in there and see if I could communicate with anybody. And
Are you thinking maybe go by there, knock on the door, say, "Hey, I lived here as a child, and here's what I've heard."
I have, but I have mixed emotions about going back on that property. In a way, I
Okay.
would love to,
Mhm.
but on the other hand, I don't want to bring up all my childhood memories and have to go through all that again.
Okay, makes sense. So once you start getting into this, and you're living in Michigan, which is very haunted, very a lot of paranormal activity in that state. What did you see? What are some of the first things that made you say, oh, "Okay, maybe I jumped into this too fast," if it happened?
I've seen a ghost car once.
Oh, a
That
ghost car?
scared me.
Tell me
A
what happened.
ghost car. I was working at a body shop at the time. I would go and pick up parts and go get supplies. Well, it was the middle of winter, and I'm coming down a road, a highway 115, and it was nothing but glare ice. And
Okay.
there's guardrails on both sides of the road. There is a semi coming toward me, and he started to fishtail.
Wow.
And there's a car, plain as day, a blue car behind the semi, and he wasn't slowing down at all. Well, this semi, he was covering the entire highway,
Okay.
and I seen the car go right underneath that trailer. I wasn't the only one. and it was gone. It disappeared.
So did the truck get stopped before you or anyone else hit it?
Actually, I went in a ditch. I took the
Okay.
ditch before.
Okay. So tell me
I
about
was
this
in my
car that,
boss's car.
so the car,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
ghost car just underneath, like it was right through it.
yeah. I wasn't the only one that seen it. There was a car behind me, and this guy got out of his truck and ran up to me to make sure I was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he's freaking out as much as I am because we saw that car go underneath that trailer, but the
Okay.
car totally disappeared.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome. You think it was a car that had wrecked down that road before, or was it some kind of warning?
I think it was a car that had wrecked on that road before.
Okay. Well, Michigan is known for its bad weather at the wintertime, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely.
When you formed Greenstone, have you guys hit some of the local hot spots and done some investigations?
We've done a few home investigations trying to help people,
Okay.
but we went down to a very popular spot in Michigan. It's called the Bruce Mansion.
Okay.
It was just me. It was me and my partner, not my partner, but she is my sidekick when it comes to the paranormal.
Okay.
We went down to Bruce Mansion, and other people are supposed to spend the night there with us, but something happened and they had to leave. So we are in this mansion, just the two of us, right on a freeway. We get locked in for the night. And it was like the paranormal exploded in that place. It was unbelievable.
Okay.
And all of our equipment quit working.
Well, what was going on?
We went up to there was one room in the entire place that was clean, and there were like two hide beds in this room, and we were going to sleep in there for the night.
Mm-hmm.
We get in that room and shut the door, and we are hearing people walking up and down this staircase. We heard conversations. The doorknob to our room was jiggling like somebody was trying to come in. It was nonstop all night long. We actually thought somebody had broke into the mansion, and we didn't have any kind of protection with us. So as soon as it was daylight, we went downstairs to check all the equipment, and everything had been shut off or it just quit working.
Wow.
And we looked around and there was no signs of any break-in. And the owner of the mansion at the time actually had security cameras all over the place. And they were going to stay up and watch it all night.
Okay. So tell me something. Did you get anything on those cameras when you looked them over?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We set all the equipment up and went up to the room. We thought, well, it will be nice and quiet down here, and if there's any activity, we know what it is. And everything was shut off, or the batteries were dead, and they were all fresh batteries.
That's nothing unusual.
We were pretty disappointed.
Yeah, it's a shame because you said there was a lot. What was going on that had you so worked up?
I would like to go back to that place, that location, but my friend doesn't feel the same as I do because somebody new owns the property now, and I guess it's a whole different situation now to get in there. And
Okay. So, but what was actually happening that you said there was a lot of noise? Was there thumps, pounding on the door, steps?
it was crazy because we swore that there were people in that house with us.
Did you hear voices?
Oh yeah, we heard conversations.
Okay. Was you able to make out any things they were saying?
Not really. It was like mumbling,
Okay.
nothing clear. Yeah.
Gotcha. So what's the history of the Bruce house that it's so haunted? Do you know anything?
Oh, the Bruce Mansion was built in what was it? 18 1870s. No, it was built before 1876. I can't remember the year, but the mansion itself had a lot of history. It was used as a funeral home or funeral parlor at one
Okay.
time
Uh-huh.
because the funeral parlor in the town burnt down. There was a huge fire and everything got burnt except for the Bruce Mansion.
Okay.
And there are stories like somebody hung themselves in one of the upstairs bedrooms, and another story that a man killed his wife on the property and he put her body into the trunk of his car and he drove it somewhere. There's a few stories, but back when it was built by a lumber baron
Okay.
that had made a lot of money off the area. So
Okay. So how close are you to the lake up there?
I am 1 hour away from Lake Michigan.
Have you done anything with the alleged triangle in the Great Lakes that causes ships to disappear?
No, I haven't. If I had my choice of a lake to do any work around, it would be Lake Superior.
Okay. Why in that in
I don't know if
particular?
you know anything about Lake. Well, Lake Superior is known for taking a lot of ships have gone down in that lake, and the water's so cold that the bodies do not come back to the surface.
That's the one the Edmund Fitzgerald
There's
went
a
down,
lot
right?
of bodies. Yes, absolutely.
So you think that's some paranormal thing like the Devil's Triangle or the one in Japan? In Japan?
It could be. And there's stories of UFOs coming up out of that lake too.
I was not aware
There's
of that.
a lot happening.
Apparently. Any sea monsters? I mean, we got to have them. We got them everywhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can't remember what they're called, but I've heard stories about sea monsters. As a matter of fact, I just heard, I think it was last week, that there was a sighting of a Bigfoot up there by Lake Superior.
Well, we'll talk more about Bigfoot here in a little bit because I know that's kind of what you're more leaning into now. But what about the other hauntings? Have you done any others that was really interesting?
Denise and I went to the Monroe house down in Indiana.
Okay, I was
We
going to say, I
down
think I've heard
there.
of that.
Yeah, it's very well known as the Demon House.
Oh, that's the one
We
that
were down there a couple years ago.
that's the one Bagans bought and had destroyed, right?
No, that's a whole different one.
Oh, that's a different
The one
demon
that we
house.
went to is the yeah. There's like 3 different demon houses.
Okay.
This is this is the one that I can't remember his name right offhand, but he had a program called Paranormal Lockdown,
I remember when the show was
and
out, but I
they
never
found
watched it.
human remains in the basement. Yeah.
Okay. So what did you find there?
Oh man. We had a lot of experiences in that house. When we were in the basement trying to do EVP work, we could hear walking above us and knocking on the walls while we were in the basement. My friend Denise seeing a shadow figure come from like behind me in a tunnel and shoot towards the other side of the basement room. I got a picture of a shadow figure in a mirror. I took a picture down a hallway, and there's a mirror on the far end of the hall. And behind me, there was a tall shadow figure behind me.
That is
The young man
intriguing.
that was with us, we did, we're going to make it a short session on a Ouija board. We were on that for 2 hours, and it felt like we were only doing it for 5 minutes.
Wow.
It was nonstop answers.
What kind of information did you get from him?
We asked, like, we heard stories about a father that was abusing children in the home, and really bad stuff. We asked questions about that, and we got replies back saying that the person we were talking to was a child, and that they were abused in different ways very badly, and the child ended up dying.
Okay. Do you think this was a demon that was pretending to be a child to get your sympathies?
I don't think it was. I think it was actually a child answering questions to get their story out.
So what else did it have to say? I mean, you said it talked for hours, huh?
Oh man. We asked the common questions like, how many people have been here to investigate? And it actually said too many.
Huh. All right, that makes sense. Is the house still open? Still there?
Oh yeah, yep. It's still open, and you can still go there and investigate.
I'm surprised you haven't went back a couple times with that much activity.
We're talking about it. Well, Denise is recovering from shedding her leg, and she's trying to get her leg mended up to where we can get out and do more.
Okay. Well, that sounds like an interesting place to start. Any places you're wanting to get to? A bucket list?
Yeah. I want to get to Gettysburg.
I think we all do, yeah.
I was down in Kentucky a little over a year ago, and there's a piece of property that I was taken to, and I got a lot of response while we were on that property.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were just driving around in the mountains, and I'm taking pictures. I mean, I'm a tourist. I'm taking pictures, and I got a picture of a ghost, like it standing on the railing of a bridge, like maybe somebody had jumped off that bridge.
Really? That's awesome.
I'll have to send that one to you.
Did you go over and see if you heard or saw anything as you approached it?
No, he was driving, and
Okay.
by the time I told him what I got in the picture, we were already down the road ways.
Okay. Well, that to me would be worth a trip back if I had your abilities, which I don't want. I'm not sure if what you have is a gift or a curse. What do you think?
I look at it as a gift. I really do. Because I've had warnings, and I've been able to help a lot of people.
Okay. Did you have like a guide, a spirit that was helping you, or is this something you had to pretty much do solo?
Something I've been doing solo.
Okay.
If I do have a guide helping me, I don't know.
All right. So, well, Gene, I'm going to step away for a minute, take us off the screen, run a couple commercials, pay the bills, and we'll be back in a little bit. We'll start talking about some of the cryptids in Michigan and what you're wanting to do next.
Okay.
Stand by. I'll be right back. I'll tell you what, guys, it's kind of cool when you. She presents it so much differently from some of the others, and the others I've talked to with this kind of ability, I don't want it. I don't want. Well, like I told you before, my friend Tim was literally chased out of a Walmart by a spirit only he could see, but it was yelling at him and didn't stop following him until he went out the doors. That's something I don't want. I think I would be so startled and would be so shocked. I have ghost hunted some amazing places. I don't get scared, but then again, I don't have it leaping into my face either. And that would be, like I said, it's something I don't think I would want. I tell you though, what I do want is for you all to pay attention to this, and we will be right back.
The new book, How to Research a Haunted House by paranormal investigator Margie Kay and professional researcher Violet Wisdom, is now available from Unex Media. This one-of-a-kind book explains how to do research on a house with uncommon methods and resources used by historic home researchers, and how to determine who may be doing the haunting and why. How to research a haunted house can be used by homeowners, renters, investors, and it should be in the library of all professional paranormal investigators. Get this unique book at unexmedia.com or amazon.com. That's unexmedia.com or amazon.com. The truth, it's out there, and it's waiting for you. The Unexplained Network is your source for the best in paranormal programming, live video streaming, and audio streaming from hauntings, UFOs, Bigfoot, cryptids, and the ever-expanding realm of the unexplained. Listen live or on demand now on Spreaker, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeart, and Pockets all over the World Wide Web. The Unexplained Network, where unexplained lives.
All right, friends, we'll talk a little bit more at the end of the show about, of course, joining the Unexplained Network and checking out all the things we've got. We've got so many new shows, I'm not even sure where they all are. And we've lost a few. Some people thought this is what they wanted and gave it up. but we've got a lot of shows on here for any topic you're looking for. Conspiracy, ghosts. There's a lot of the ghost shows. There's even more UFO related shows and a lot of cryptids. Any topic in the paranormal you're interested in, this is the home to be at. This is the place to come home to, because we've got what you're after. Now let's bring Gene back up and let's talk some more about, specifically this time, let's go to the cryptids of Michigan. You said there was some legends that you're looking into.
Yes. My big thing right now is Bigfoot. Bigfoot and Dogman.
Okay. I've had a Dogman specialist. I've had several Bigfoot, but a Dogman specialist. Is there a difference in the two?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. If I had to make a choice between which one I ran into in the woods, I would definitely choose Bigfoot.
The person I talked to recently kind of indicated the Dogman is more vicious. Would that be a good statement, or right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely correct.
What stories have you heard about Dogman that makes you think that?
I've seen one once,
Okay.
and it is what really piqued my interest, because just the size of it was huge.
Okay.
And it showed no fear of anything. But a few miles from here, it's probably about 15 miles from here, years ago, somebody sent me pictures of huge dog prints on top of a house, on the roof of a snow-covered house.
Really? That's intriguing.
I am trying. Yeah. Well, there's a big old pine tree that is next to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if it didn't climb that tree to try to get in the window.
Dogman did not really come into prominence until what, maybe the last 10, 15 years, would you say?
Yeah. Yep. Sightings have been picking up, and there's a lot more people talking about them.
So is a Dogman and a werewolf a similar creature, the same creature? What do you think?
They have a lot in common with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they are the same, because the legend with a werewolf, if you get bit by a werewolf, you become a werewolf. Where a Dogman, if he bites you, you're dinner.
Okay. So the Dogman is a creature, not a body changer, shapeshifter, however you want to say that.
No. It's a flesh and blood
Okay.
creature.
Then why have we not heard
I
of
have
it?
got pictures of prints.
Okay. So why have we not heard of it until just recently? And I know there was some back in the 1950s and before that where people claimed it was a large creature with a snout like a dog. But it just wasn't that often. It wasn't like Bigfoot.
Oh, there's a lot more people out now. There's a lot more people getting out and doing more hiking and spending more time in the wilderness. And everybody has a cell phone on them. Everybody has a way to take a picture, to take video. And I think with everybody being out exploring the wilderness a lot more, people are starting to notice. There are a lot of cryptids out there that I don't think people have a clue of what
Mhm.
could be out there.
Okay, so there's a lot of cryptids, different things. Is there other things other than Dogman and Bigfoot that you're interested in?
I had a very scary experience probably 4 years ago. I used to go up to an old friend's ranch and help work on the ranch a little bit. Well, his top hand, his one of his employees, her and I, would get on the golf cart and go for a ride back by the creek where we would go do paranormal investigating. Well, we went a different way one night,
Okay.
and on our way back, I thought I saw something moving under a tree. And I told her, I said, stop a minute, something over there. And we were sitting there watching. I cannot tell you what it was. All I know is it was huge, black.
Okay.
It looked like it was coming up out of the ground, like it was changing its shape as we're watching it.
Okay.
And it looked like it wanted to hurt somebody. So we hurried up and got out of there as quick as we could. That was one time that I was actually scared.
Okay, that you believe that was a Dogman then?
I don't think it was a dog, man. I didn't see any hair on it. It just looked like a big black. This is going to sound weird. It looked like a rock and a shadow at the same time.
Do you have any clue what this might have been? Is there any legends about this sort of thing up there?
I have no idea, but I did find out that the property that we were on used to be a lake, and there was a lot of Indian burials across the road up on top of a hill.
Okay.
And the Native Americans owned all that area at one time.
So what do you think? Do you think you may have come
So
across
I don't know if it's
Wendigo or something?
that's what I was wondering.
Well, I wish I'd have known
Whatever
that.
it was, it scared me.
I'd have wore my Wendigo shirt instead of my Bigfoot shirt. So that's so the Wendigo is basically a medicine man who messed with the wrong type of magic, and he's a shapeshifter. He can wear the skin of an animal and turn into it or something. They're evil. Do you think that might
Yes.
kind of describe it?
Yeah, definitely.
So did you get an evil
But
vibe off of it or something?
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that at first we didn't see the head. It had its
Okay.
head like down and buried in its chest, but when that head started coming up, it was big,
Okay.
and the eyes were glowing. I've never seen anything like that before, and I thought, nope, I don't want to know what it is.
I think
It
the
scared
Wendigo.
me.
I think there's Wendigo legends in Michigan. I know there is in Canada.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's been Wendigo spotted in Michigan.
All right, so we got Bigfoot, Dogman, and Wendigo. What else? And plus the ghosts. So
Oh, that piece of property alone, I've had a lot of different experiences on that property.
okay.
We've seen a bunch of fairies one night, and then this creature, the Wendigo, we heard Bigfoot howl up there. It's almost like this property is sacred.
Okay. Tell me about the fairies you saw. Was it just glowing lights, or did you actually see them flittering around? Or there's so many different descriptions, I don't know how to describe it.
He had his horses out in the pasture behind the barn. And it was pretty late one night, and there were 3 of us sitting out on a picnic table just enjoying the night and talking about the day. And I started seeing little flashes out in the pasture, and I thought, wow, that's cool, fireflies. And we started watching, and me and this other woman are seeing the same thing. They were all different colors.
Okay.
We saw blue, purple, pink, white, and they looked like fireflies and just kind of slowly floating around.
Now, I've not heard much on elementals up in Michigan. Is that something you all deal with? The fairies, trolls, leprechauns, whatever?
I have seen fairies, and Denise and I seen a wedge puggy. I can't remember what they're called.
Pudwudgie. Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
I interviewed a woman all about it one night. Yes.
Yes, we've seen one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
he was a mean little guy too.
Yeah, that's, if I remember right, they're really, really short, kind of like a troll or something like that.
Yeah, he was very short. He was hiding behind a headstone in a cemetery.
And I think Michigan is the only place that claims to have puckwudgies, aren't they?
No, I've heard that there's been a lot of them spotted in Indiana.
Really?
As a matter of fact, when Denise and I were down there at the Moreau house, we were going to go a little bit further and go look for some, but we decided not to.
Is your partner, is it Denise? Is she afraid of these things?
Yeah.
Okay. She afraid of the cryptids?
Yeah, she gets scared a lot easier than I do.
See, that's all. I'm not afraid of them because I carry a large gun. So that's just me. But let me ask you this, so Gene, are these creatures flesh and blood, or are they interdimensional, or are they spiritual? What you're thinking on specifically Bigfoot, but Dogman too?
Bigfoot, I believe, is real. I believe they are like us, flesh and blood, and Dogman definitely. But as far as fairies, I think they might be they can travel back and forth between dimensions. I don't know.
So the Bigfoot, if they are not interdimensional, why do we never find bodies or evidence? And apparently you can't shoot them.
No. As a matter of fact, I had somebody tell me once that he wanted to go out and shoot one, but he's never seen one. I said, well, that's why you won't see it, because they know your intentions. But I believe that they're dead. And if they don't get buried, just like every other animal in the forest, all the other animals in there are going to eat their remains.
Okay. But
we don't find.
Wouldn't these animals eat the remains of?
No, go ahead.
And wouldn't these animals eat the remains of anything else that died, moose or deer or anything like that? And yet we find their bodies in the woods.
I I don't know. I don't have an answer to that,
Okay.
but I believe that they're real.
Okay.
I think they get buried more than likely.
Well, that would show some form of intelligence, which apparently they are. I have read of stories where Bigfoots were protecting humans from the dogmen. Have you read any of those or heard any of those up there?
Yes, I have. I've heard stories that Bigfoot have protected people from dogman, or I've heard a story about a hiker that got lost in the woods and there was a pack of wolves tracking this guy. And I heard that Bigfoot intervened and protected him from the wolves.
Okay.
I think they would be more willing to protect us than harm us.
That I have heard stories of Bigfoot creatures attacking humans, especially back in the 1800s. Unless you think that was a mistake and it was something else.
Oh, it's just like humans. You're gonna have your rogue. You got your Bigfoot that could care less and they just want to be left alone and they want to go off and do what they do, like we do. And then you have the rogue that are gonna they'll definitely hurt if they have the opportunity.
So which would you prefer now that you've done a little bit of both, ghost hunting or cryptid hunting?
Cryptid hunting. Definitely, because I love being outdoors.
Okay. Well, when you're out cryptid hunting, does the ghosts ever show up? Do you see one standing by a tree or an old foundation or something?
Yep. Absolutely. I carry my dowsing rods with me a lot when I go out.
That's my favorite
And
tool also.
if I feel, I love them. I found a lost grave once using them, so
A lost
I
grave.
love them.
And
Yeah, I can't even remember the area where it was, but they said that there was somebody buried on the property, but they never located his grave. So there was a group of us that went up there, and using my dowsing rods, I was able to locate where he was buried.
Mhm. Gene, do you have any kids?
One,
I was just curious if
he's in his 40s.
has he inherited your abilities?
No, as a matter of fact, he thinks I'm crazy.
Okay. So he's totally oblivious to the paranormal field, I suppose.
Yeah. Now my granddaughter,
Yeah.
she just turned 6, I believe. But anyway, every now and then she'll say, "There's somebody over there. I just saw somebody over there." I think she has the same abilities.
Okay. What's your intention? You going to try working with her, or do you think her father doesn't want that because it's a Christian household or whatever?
If she brings it up to me, I will answer her questions, but I will not. It's not my place to try to force it on her and try to encourage it. Because I don't want to step on toes. And
I completely understand, and I would agree with you, except if she starts seeing these things, a little guidance might help.
she knows she can come to me.
Okay. Okay. She knows you've got the ability, or?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. If she sees, hears, or feels anything, or if she has any questions about anything, she always comes to me and asks me.
Okay. Jeannie, I don't have that ability. I have no sensitivity at all, but it's interesting when I get to talk to people who do, because again, to me, I'm not sure I would want that gift. Is there times when you just wish you didn't have it?
No, as a matter of fact, it's the opposite. If I go someplace and I don't sense anything, I feel like they're shutting down again.
Okay.
And I don't want that to happen.
Okay. I think I told the story earlier, maybe you heard it, of my friend Tim, who went into a Walmart in central Missouri, and he said there was a big, huge man in overalls, soaking wet, dripping water. And when he saw that Tim could see him, he literally chased him out of the building, yelling to get out. And Tim told his wife, because I need to step out, you go ahead, which she's used to that. What do you think about something like that? Has anything like that happened to you where you just had to get away from the spirit?
Actually, it has, and it was a Walmart. One of my ex-husbands passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not know this. I did not know he had died. And an old friend and I were in Walmart, and we go back into the garden center, and there he is. He's standing there looking at me.
Uh-huh.
And I looked at her and I said, "Come on, we got to go. We're leaving."
Right.
He followed us through that store. We could not lose him. We were practically running, and every time we went around the corner, there he was. I told my niece about it, and she goes, "Aunt Jean, he died about a week ago." And she got the obituary and showed it to me.
Okay.
That freaked me out.
Do you think you arriving there was a surprise to him, or was he expecting you there?
I think he had been following me, and he
Yeah.
wanted me to actually see him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like when I realized he had passed and what had happened, once I got the whole grasp of everything that happened, I often wonder if there wasn't something he was trying to tell me, or if there was something he wanted to tell me.
Okay. It could be. Gene, I'm afraid I'm going to have to slip away. Time's about up, but I do want to bring out your Greenstone Paranormal. And you have a Facebook page for Greenstone Paranormal, I believe.
Yes.
And other than that, thank you for being on the show. I mean, your stories and your experiences are very important for people.
Thank you.
Listen, hang loose for a little bit. I'll be back with you as soon as I say goodbye to these good folks, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You have a good night and try and stay cool up there.
You too.
Be right back with you. All right, friends. So that is that. And again, it's interesting, the idea of having that ability. Sometimes I kind of wish maybe I had it, but common sense beats me out and says, no, you don't want that. And maybe sometimes personally, I'm better off not knowing. So that's just me. And for anyone who does have the ability, you've got my respect for having to live with it and all of that good stuff. Hey, I just want to hit real quick about joining the Unexplained Network, or the UNX Network, as we used to call it, but we went back to the full name. To get on there, you just go to the unxnetwork.com and drop down on that front page. You can fill in some paperwork or fill in some names and blocks, and that kind of gets you into the system, into the group. And what you get if you become a member is, first off, access to the blog. And the blog is doing great. We're out there every few days. If something comes up, a new entry is made. We were right on top of the Tic Tacs a couple of years ago. We was on top of the Chinese balloons. And right now, we're really, basically, I want to say, on top of the missing scientists that I'm sure everyone's heard of. People who are in the 0-point energy, or space travel, or UFOs, or just they're disappearing, or they're showing up dead. And we've been talking about that. Also, you have a newsletter, comes out once a week, kind of talks about the different shows. And of course, you get monthly the magazine, UNX magazine, and each one kind of has a theme. I know the one on the left there was ghosts, and I had a story in that one on the haunted battleship North Carolina. One on the right talked more about time travel. This one I had an article in about haunted dolls, and boy, does that creep me out. And speaking of that, I never did get to talk to Jean about her being at these places with the dolls hanging from the trees, but probably for the best. I do have to sleep tonight. This one here was about a place called I called it the Devil's Diner. It was actually called the Diamonds, or Route 66 restaurant, and very haunted. It had been built back in the 30s, 40s. It was a wild place, and unfortunately it was destroyed by a tornado, but I ghost hunted that many, many times, and finally got to write the story down. The whole story. It was in 2 of my other books because I kept going back and having new experiences. This was the last because the building is pretty much unusable now. But again, unxnetwork.com, we've got so many new shows, cryptids and ghosts and everything. I know Michelle Roos is coming out of Iowa with hers. There's one called, I want to say it's Across the Bridge, but it's a team I worked with one time out of Ohio. And I worked with them at the Blennerhassett Hotel in West Virginia. And there's a few other ghost related, but mostly are a lot of UFOs and a lot of cryptids. Whatever you're interested in, it's there. Join up. You're really, really missing out. Of course, all our shows are free on YouTube. So check that out. See if you enjoy it. And if you do, the UNX Network, or the Unexplained Network, is what you put in, and you'll see all of our shows there, at least the in-house shows. And I guess that's about it. Again, I want to thank Jean. I'm going to go talk to her for a little bit after this, and I want you folks to stay cool. It's getting hot. Boy, is it getting hot. It surprised me. So y'all stay cool, stay safe, and I guess the most important thing of all is for you to stay spooked. Okay? Good night.
The truth